Hello and welcome to Cloud-Eating Camel. That's right, there he is. I know it seems inconceivable. How could this camel eat all these clouds? But as you can see, there it is going right in. He is doing it. Hey, this is a work with me video. So you're going to work right alongside me to solve this problem. So let's take a look at the scenario. You are a scientist studying the strange occurrence of camels eating clouds, just like this one right here. This camel has eaten 108 clouds. Let's just write that down, 108 clouds, and he did it in just 48 hours. So, on average, how many clouds did this camel eat per hour? So this is really a division problem, and it's 108 divided by 48. And let's go ahead and get started with how we're going to do this problem. So the very first thing we want to do is go ahead and create our area box. And now I'm going to make it a little bigger than normal because I know that this is going to go into a decimal because this book is all about decimals, right? So I'm going to make it actually bigger than it needs to be. And I'm going to put the 108 over here so I have plenty of room in case I need to have more decimals going in this direction. Now, so the 108 goes in here. My divisor comes right out here, so I'll write my divisor there. And now, as I'm looking at this, when I'm estimating how many times 48 can go into this number, I'm really going to round the 48 to 50 because it's closer to 50 than to 40. So I'm going to just write 50 right here because that's what I'm going to be using as my estimation number, right? So now I got to count by the numbers. I need to have 4s, 8s, and 5s. So let's set that up, and then we'll pause the video and let you copy. And right here we have our 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. And for our 8s, we have 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, and 80. And then we did our 5s because of the estimation. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. So let's go ahead and have you copy all of this, copy the division problem, and the area division here along with your estimation number. Alrighty, so hopefully you're ready. If not, hit pause and let's move on. So now I'm going to estimate how many times 50 will go into this 108. It will obviously not go into 1, it won't go into 10, so I am looking at the 108. So if I'm looking up here, I'm going to imagine that all these have another 0 behind them, so this would actually be 50 because we're rounding this 48 up to 50, right? So instead of 4s and 8s, I'm doing 50, right? So this is 50, this would be 100, this would be 150, which is too much here. So I'm going to actually put 100, right? So that means I'm going to multiply by 1, 2. So I'm going to put a 2 right above here, right above the 8. And just do that right now. Put my 2 right there. And then I'm going to now actually multiply by the real numbers here instead of my estimation number. So 2 times 8 is going to give me 1, 2, which will give me 16, right? So I'm going to drop my 6 and carry my 1. So I'll drop a 6 right here, and then I'm going to carry a 1 right over here by the 4 because that gets added in after I multiply by the 4. So watch. I go 2 times 4, and that means I'm going to go 1, 2, which gives me 8. I have to add this 1, so 8 plus 1 will give me 9. So now I'm going to drop my 9 there, and then I'm going to subtract. So go ahead and pause the video and copy all this, and I'll wait for you. Excellent. Let's move on. All right, so now the first thing I always do is check for trouble coming, and I've got no trouble coming here, and I do have trouble, but I can just pretend that this is 10 and is already borrowed over here. So I don't have any trouble. I'm going to add another area box so I can subtract, and once again, I'm going to make that area box good and long so that I can add decimals if I need to down the road. And then I'm ready to subtract. And 8 minus 6 is going to give me 2. And now I got 10 minus 9 will give me 1 right here. So I've got 12. Now, before I do anything, 12 is smaller than 48. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add decimals and drop zeros. So I'm going to add a decimal here and a 0. And add a decimal here and a 0. Now, the reason this works is anything times 0 will give me 0 all the way down here. So if I add a 0 here, and I actually should have put this one first, it will zero out everything below it. So I'm going to just keep adding decimals and zeros right below here, and I'm good to go, right? So now I'm going to look at this and go, okay, now all of a sudden I have 120. You're going to forget about the 0 for this purpose here of how many times this will go in to the 120. But the decimals will be up here. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we're going to do this now. And I'm going to come back here, and I'm using the 50 once again as my estimation. So I've got 50, 100, 150, which is too much for 120, right? So I'm going to go with 2 again, right? So I'm going to add another 2 right here, and I'll just put that 2 right there. But it's actually 0.2, right? So it's 0.2 that's getting multiplied. So now, because I do have this decimal, but we're going to forget about the decimal for the multiplication because it'll just line up. So long as we line this up, it'll work out perfectly. So now I'm going to go 2 times 8, and once again I'm going to go 1, 2, which gives me 16 again. I'm going to drop my 6 and carry my 1. So I'll drop my 6 right here, and then I'm going to actually drop the decimal as well. I'm going to carry my 1 here, and now I'm going to go 2 times 4. Well, that's 1, 2. I got to add this 1 here, which gives me 8 plus 1 is going to give me 9. So I'm going to add another 9 there, and now I'm good to subtract. So I'm going to actually ask you to copy all this and then hit play again. I'll wait for you. Superb. Let's rock and roll. So now I do want to subtract, and the first thing I'm going to do is enlarge this so I got a little more room, and I'm looking for trouble coming. I do have trouble here because I can't take 0 and subtract 6 from it. So I'm going to borrow from this 2 and trade it in for a group of 10 that goes over there, and then this turns into 1. And now, just like I did with the 10 up here, I'm going to count this as 11 right away, so I'm good to go. So now I will add in another area box and drop that right down there. And now I'm ready to subtract. 10 minus 6 is going to give me 4. I'm going to just drop the decimal, and then I'm going to have 11 minus 9 is going to give me 2 right here. And then I'm looking at as a whole number, right? I'm going to look at the 24, and because I'm going to ignore the decimal for now, and it is indeed smaller than 48. So that means I'm going to add a 0 on all of these and drop it all the way down. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to add a 0 right there, and right there, and right there. And just the zeros just go all the way down, because if you're adding a 0 down here after the decimal, it doesn't matter. You can add them forever and ever, right? So now let's go ahead and move on. And now I'm looking at this 240 and how many times the 48 will go into that. But what I really need to do is use my estimation, right? So I'm estimating as 50. How many times 50 will go into 240? And if I look here, we've got to once again remember that these have zeros behind them. So this is really 50, 100, 150, 200. 250 is too much because we're looking at 240. So I got to drop back here to 200, right? That means I'm going to multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put a 4 up here under just right in this column here. Well, I got to move this guy, so I'm going to move him right over there. And I'm going to put my 4 there, and right there it goes. But I need to add the 0.04, and my 4 goes right above that 0 here, right? So now I'm using the real number, and I'm going to multiply 4 times 8. So I'm going to come right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives me 32. I'm going to drop my 2 and carry my 3. So I'm going to drop my 2 and carry my 3 right up here, right by the camel. Actually, I'm going to do it over here so you can see it better. And now I've got 4 times 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 16. Plus 3 is going to give me 19. So I'm going to drop my 19 right here. And I'll go ahead and add the decimal in there. And then I'm going to be ready to subtract. Before I do that, I would like you to copy all this. Let me enlarge it for you a little bit here. And now I'd like you to copy all of this so you're ready to go. And then we'll subtract in one momentito, my friend. I'll wait for you. Okay, fantastic. So first, before we do anything else, I'm going to look for any trouble coming, and sure enough, I got trouble coming right here. So I'm going to trade in a group of 10 and move it over here. So I'll turn this into a 3, and then turn this into 10. Nice. And then I still got trouble coming because I cannot take 3 and subtract 9. So I'm going to trade in for another group of 10 and turn this into 13. And this is a 1. So now I'm good to go, and I'm going to actually move this up a little and add yet another area box right below here. And now let's go ahead and subtract. And I've got 10 minus 2 is going to give me 8 right here. Oops, I want black. Oh, I still haven't gotten black. Now I got black. 8 right there. And then 13 minus 9 is going to give me 4. And then I've got the 1 minus 1 is 0. So it's all zeroed out. And now I can fit exactly one more 48 in here. So I'm going to come back up here. Oh, wait, before I do, why don't you go ahead and pause this and copy down what I've got right there. Hang on. I mean, no, you don't hang on. I'll hang on. You copy. Ready, go. Fantastic. All right, so now, as I mentioned, I got to add another group of 1s up here. So I'm going to just add in one more group, and that's actually 0.01. I got one more group that I'm multiplying here. 1 times 48 is indeed going to give me 48 here. So I'm going to drop my 48, and that is going to zero out, which is perfect, right? And now all I have to do is add these on up. So I'm going to do that by drawing my line here and drawing an arrow up because I'm adding those up. And now let's see how that works. So if I've got 0, 0, 4, and 1 is going to give me 5. So I'm going to put my 5 there. And here I'm going to just bring my 2 up. So I'll put my 2 right there. And I'm going to then bring up the decimal point. I'll put that right there. So I got a decimal right there. Oops, come on now. There we go. Nice decimal. And then I just got this 2 here. So I'm going to put my 2 in right there. And this right here is your answer. 2.25 is your answer. Now, before I explain the wrap it up, I would like you to just copy all this information down and finish it up. I'll wait for you. Hit play as soon as you're ready. Super. So now let's go ahead and remember what was happening with this camel, right? So you got this camel here that's eating these clouds, and he's eaten 108 of these clouds in 48 hours. And the question is, how many clouds did he eat per hour on average, right? So we've got 108 divided by 48, and he is eating 2.25 clouds every hour. And that, my friends, is our answer. I'm going to just make this a little bigger for you. And there you have it. I hope you're enjoying the video. And our next one, you're going to do completely on your own. And then you'll watch the video to correct your work and make sure you did a great job, which I'm sure you will. Until next time, have a fantastic day. Sayonara for now, my friend. And now, on to counting by the numbers. This is a great strategy for anybody who does not have all their multiplication facts memorized. Counting by threes. Ready? Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Counting by fours. Ready? And 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Counting by sixes. Here we go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. Counting by sevens, here we go. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. And counting by eights, here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. Counting by nines, here we go. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90.